haven't thought of Snowflame in years. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Sometimes it's great remembering comics are freaking weird, and sometimes they have coke-addled supervillains. Okay, so yeah, pretty much y'all have gotten in touch with. Yeah, actually, you know what? We're gonna start by asking that. Are you guys going to booby trap the house, or before you tell Rat, are you going to tell Rat and basically maybe have work on a deadline kind of thing?
I think, yeah, basically go ahead and get the house set. So as soon as Rat, goes to tell Geek we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Also at this point, Frank, he's feeling a little bit better. He's obviously going to be helping with this kind of stuff. This is going to be, we'll say this. You guys know that time isn't necessarily on your side. Because, you don't necessarily know how long this, the Geek's going to lay low, that kind of stuff. You don't even know if he's necessarily starting to move. So what we'll say is we're going to make this a series of rolls with a set number of victories. We're going to need a primary roller. I would imagine that's probably going, whoever's I'm assuming that'd probably be you, Jeb.
With what stat? I mean, if it's survival, I'm on that like hotcakes.
Yeah, because you got trap making and stuff like that with that, right?
Yeah, good GM. Yeah, I got a specialty in traps. My survival is 4 dot.
That's gotta be.
Yeah, that's got to be you in that case. That being said, I don't know if this would necessarily be intelligence or resolve. I think you could probably use either or. You're going to use your innate knowledge of where you could set up traps, or you could be like, I'm so determined to make this work that I'm going to pull from my resolve.
They're equal, but I will say resolve because that is definitely more jet speed than I'm just going to get this shit done.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So we got that. So you're going to be the primary roller. The other two can add, can add extra dice. So they're going to roll first. But what are you guys going to roll? How do you think you could necessarily help in aiding with building these traps? What do you guys?
I'm gonna throw this at you. I also have a fairly good survival, but that was mostly based on camping, hiking, things that Peter learned from his ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And also Peter does a lot of stuff at the museum. He built that Werebusters kind of sign that he made talk. I figure as long as Jeb is telling him what to do, Peter can generally handle a hammer and nails,
That being said, if either of you have a pretty high thing in any kind of crafts, you could roll that.
I have 1 in crafts. But...
Okay, honestly, this is I'll put it this way. This is me asking you to look at your skills and attributes and justify and tell me what you want to roll and try and justify it. And me saying, okay, that's good or that's bad.
Yeah, craft is the only thing that really, because I don't have survival.
I got to stick with survival because I understand the concepts he's telling me, and as long as Jeb is telling me what I need to do, I can do it. I'm not going to come up with anything unique or different, but I can follow orders.
Okay.
I feel like crafts, you can kind of look at maybe what's going on and try to emulate or,
I don't know if you could pull
stuff
from
that's not necessarily trap based, but sort of a little bit hands on.
Since we're on a time crunch, you could maybe say stamina because you just get you have better stamina. You're not getting tired of nailing things together or moving equipment. I don't know.
Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you guys are obviously going to have to pick an attribute and a skill. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is pretty much me just asking you guys. It's more a role playing thing, and if you can justify using your best stats in it.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with stamina and survival.
See, that's what I would do because it's Jeb's literally he's tired, but he's going to just keep pushing. His stamina's just good that he's just going to keep going.
I have athletics, but that was really more of running. So if you need somebody to run around and
Honestly,
sort of
like we can
stuff back and forth.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can verify that, like, you guys might be like doing some heavy lifting to rig the house, like. But yeah, it's not necessarily you can only use your athletics for running. Like remember how I've always said, like, if you have a 1 dot in drive, you can pilot a helicopter or a submarine. It's that kind of thing.
All right.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so what's your Peter's pool is stamina and survival.
All right, that's 6 dice then.
Oh, sick. And what's Beryl's pool?
I guess I'll do strength and athletics.
Okay. And the primary actor is going to be Jeb. What is Jeb's pool?
I will do survival. Just because the not the lore, but the role play, I feel like resolve does fit a little bit better than stamina. Like stamina could work, but I feel like resolve is a better fit. So that's survival and resolve.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. You need 10 successes versus some stuff I'm going to roll that I'm going to keep a secret. First person to it is, it's going to roll in their, the next little bit is going to roll in their favor. Peter and Beryl roll. Mm-hmm. Any successes they get will add to Jeb's pool.
Okay.
You can spend willpower doing this. You can risk willpower 1 time. But, risking that willpower will net you not only the willpower that you spent in order to try it, but you'll regain another one too. It just bolsters your stuff. But, high risk, high reward kind of thing.
But at the end of the day, while we're rolling, this is basically like a 80s kind of fix-it montage. Like
absolutely, that's how you pretty much need to do it. Like after we do all the rolls, I'll kind of flesh in some stuff.
Like
heroes playing.
Yeah, like Clancy hits me in the back of the head with a board as he moves, and we just both look at each other and laugh.
And there's definitely a couple of parts where like Park is doing some very physical stuff, getting real sweaty, and Peter are just sitting here like sipping a beverage, just like.
Oh yeah, he's wearing his jean hot pants during the whole thing.
Peter's tea thermos is very shaky in his hand.
Yeah. He's got a bandana hanging out of his back pocket, Bruce Springsteen
style. He's always like sweating, but not gross, just more like a glisten.
He's perspiring.
Yeah, perspiring.
He's glowing.
Everything seems to be in slightly slow motion when he's around.
How do we want to start this then?
Both of you roll, and we'll add your successes. If you want to risk, or if you want to spend or risk willpower, go ahead and make that call.
I'm going to start out normal.
A second. I'm going to roll my pool as well.
Oh, That's 1 success there.
I have 4.
Okay. Hold on a second.
I know, right? Ridiculous.
So that's
They're
4.
powering up those stairs.
Yeah, Satisfaction is playing.
Okay,
gosh. So Jeb, add 4. So you guys got 4 dice total?
No, 6 total.
So
no, 5 total.
5.
Okay, yeah, so add 5 dice to your total roll. Again, you can also spend willpower or risk it.
Okay, so just got to roll this initial one and then do another one. Okay, failure. There's a lot of successes. Hold on, there's a lot of successes.
Okay, I was just thinking, Jesus.
Okay, it's a failure. Okay, so that's
my dad.
That's 4 successes with 2 10s. So let me re-roll those.
Yes.
No more. 4 total.
Okay, so you guys pretty much getting to work. I wouldn't say you're necessarily like home aloneing this shit, but it's like you're pretty much obviously making like clear corridors, like some doors are nailed shut, that kind of thing. So he can't if something goes bad, he can't just escape and disappear. Beryl, you're pretty much, along with nailing and stuff, you're also pretty much like sealing any small holes you see. Pretty much, Park, he comes up to you personally and he kind of mentions that to you. And he's like, covering those, any kind of escape routes for if he goes little tiny mouse, that'd be pretty good.
Okay.
And, he goes over and he's bending over in his hot pants and pointing in a very specific spot.
I get a little distracted for a second and then I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Sorry. Where was I?
Peter, you don't.
I mean, I put a nail in something.
Yeah,
I just made another Werebuster sign.
Oh god.
Honestly, yeah, you're very good at taking directions. That being said, you did get some successes. This is your moment to, what's something that Peter would necessarily put in there that you think would actually be beneficial to this whole thing? Like, what's a Peter thing that he would have thrown in there? Obviously, you can't put freaking Burmese tiger trap in the yard or anything.
I'm not gonna lie. Peter would have done something he would have brought something from the museum that he no longer uses, like a mannequin or something, and he would have maybe set it up. I don't know what he'd do with a mannequin.
Go on. I'm curious. This is fun.
I think maybe essentially he tries to dress it up so maybe we can fool them into thinking there's somebody else, or you know what, fuck it. He dresses the mannequin in his, what was the hazardous material thing, so the beekeeper hat, the stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
That works.
He just has that. He's kind of got him in a place where maybe it'll fool someone. But he's very proud of it. Yeah, he put jeans on this thing. He's very proud of it.
Yeah,
this is precious.
And Jeb, you're basically overseeing this whole thing. Metagaming, you got 4 successes. Ultimately, you're going to need 10. So progress is pretty good. What's your way in? What do you think? What do you think you guys need to do over the next, day or so?
So Jeb's looking at the house and finding the room that is most intact, and making that the kill room, ideally, where you're trying to lead them. So essentially doing that, what you said, nailing doors shut, kind of securing it so there's only a few combinations that the Beshlu can get in and out of.
Where exactly is the kill room? We're going to say it's a 2-story house. There's a crawl space, but no basement per se.
All right, 2-story house, just standard 2 or 3 bedroom kind of thing, bathroom.
Okay, maybe something that was built in the early '80s kind of thing.
Okay,
that kind of layout.
And it's off in the woods, right?
Yeah, it's close enough into town where everybody knows about it. It's not like freaking Evil Dead cabin.
Okay.
But yeah, no one's lived in this thing for an extended period of time in years kind of thing.
And last question, how expensive would have this house been? Like socioeconomic level, we talking middle class, upper?
Back in its day, I would say about the upper side of middle class before you get to upper middle class, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. Jeb's gonna determine that the dining room, which is dead center in the house, and outlooks the mountains in the back, is the best room to kill in. I imagine it's flanked by like maybe a bedroom on one side, or like a living room on one side, kitchen on another. It's on the ground floor, and there's upstairs above it. And so he's gonna, put plywood over the outside of the window so you can't see in or out. He's gonna try to figure out how to make a trap that comes down from above. As we roll, I'm gonna figure out that one.
Really? Just the cage that
comes down? Well, something. I don't know.
I'm
still brainstorming. Yeah.
Swing. Just a murder pendulum.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Next set of rolls. Pretty much same rules as before. If you want to spend or risk, you're welcome to it. Just make sure we know before you do it.
I'm good right now.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
Just do the vanilla rolls here and see how we do. Okay. That's
I need a
weird.
hero.
Hey, if I rolled a 10 and then blew it up and rolled it a 10 again, do I roll
Keep going.
again?
It's
Go.
Okay. That means I only had 2 successes then.
Okay. Well, I have 1.
Okay.
So about
The
3
initial
total.
4, the 2, and then 3 more.
Want to risk or spend willpower, my friend?
How much do I have? Yeah.
Right,
I'd rather.
Successes.
Huh?
As right now, you have 4 successes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could finish it in like the next day, pretty much. Like everything you guys need to do.
I'm going to hedge our bets. I got enough willpower. I'm going to burn 1, and that's 2 extra dice. So I'm going to roll this initial and then roll the 2
Do you
extra.
want to risk willpower and turn those turn those 9s into 10? I mean,
because that is going to. I'm going to need that later.
Yeah, we might need that kind of thing later.
That's a battle thing.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's a 10. That's a success. Okay, that's a success. Success. These aren't. Let me roll 2 more for the willpower. Okay, all right. So that's 2 10s. Hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I got 2 10s.
Ooh.
Yeah, a success, please.
1 more success. That was it.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay. So, Beryl, as you're going around sealing things, Jeb and occasionally Frank are kind of pointing in directions, telling you to, seal this door. Maybe set up some sharp little objects here in case he gets veered off. So it's going to
Sure.
discourage him. You start to realize that there is a bit of a decline. Like there's a sinkhole spot in the area, in the kill room, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a sinkhole spot, and just kind of milling about during your lunch break. You kind of go down to the crawl space. It's you don't really like it, spidery, not necessarily hazily, but you do notice that like the support around that area is incredibly weak. So like it wouldn't necessarily, if you guys added just a little bit extra time, that if you chose, I'm not going to have you roll for it, but you could, if you could think of a reason to like make that area collapse, you could.
Okay.
Or or even then like or even like we might come back to that. We might think on that. Peter, you find out that, let's see, what does Peter find out? What's some fun things that Peter finds out?
He somehow finds GeoCity sites still, so
you do notice pretty much, during your scheduled lunch break, pretty much, you're just kind of milling about, kind of looking around the woods. It's not necessarily anything related to construction, but you do notice there's something in the woods kind of wandering around. A hairy man, pretty much. A very tall, very hairy man. Nothing's really said. That being said, like it's kind of weird. Like when you're looking, like it's exactly if you're, unless your eyes are deceiving you, like it's exactly what you're picturing. But like, yeah, pretty much nobody else is noticing this kind of thing. What do you do?
Peter sets down his tomato and mustard sandwich that's happy. He takes out his flip phone, gets it in camera mode, and begins quietly and slowly approaching the hairy, bear-like individual.
It's just basically milling about, like nothing's going on. It does turn though, and it does notice you, and it's looking straight at you.
Peter gives it a thumbs up.
It kind of looks down at its own hand paw thing and just kind of like does that kind of thing, trying to mimic what you're doing.
Peter
But he
takes
just kind of cocks his head at
camera.
At the flash, because obviously Peter would not know to turn his flash off. On
Nope,
his
he doesn't
phone.
understand how to do that.
It startles, and just bolts through the woods, just barreling through, but weirdly enough, not breaking anything.
Graceful,
you do look down
gentle.
immediately. Yeah, you look down on your phone immediately, and you know what it is you took, but I mean, it's not in focus. That being said, it is the exact kind of thing. Like if you were to look at it and say you can see it, right? Like people would like you have a feeling like you would be able to tell them, like they'd be able to see where you were coming from, but it's fuzzy. It's. But the thing is, your camera was like, this was something you noticed. It was perfectly in focus originally.
Oh,
like it should be.
So upon seeing that, Peter he's looking at it. He closes the flip phone. He kind of looks up, kind of in the distance. He just says out loud, quietly, like, "Robert, God damn it, we were right." And kind of like a tear comes down his eye, and he then says, "Now I just got to find that pterodactyl."
I was about to say, you hear the distinct mating screech of the pterodactyl.
Yes, the dog's gonna get Peter.
It's carrying the skunk ape through the forest.
Peter abandons this whole house thing. Fuck that.
So, Jeb, everything went according to plan, pretty much. It's pretty much all exits and stuff. All the doors are sealed for the most part. You have a couple of things here and there, in case, like little hidden weapon kind of caches and such like that. Like, obviously, it's not like an armory or anything, but like you got, a handgun hidden here or something like that, or like, a baseball bat with fucking nails in it, that kind of thing. Yeah. Just in case, like, you don't know what's going to happen. At which point, Clancy, he comes up to you, and he's got a big jerry can. You don't necessarily know if you're actually smelling the gasoline or if it's just like, like just a psychosomatic thing, like what's in it, so therefore your brain's automatically going to conjure it. But he's just like, so what's the plan with this? Obviously, we can't soak the place yet because, I mean, stuff's volatile. It'll just evaporate in freaking 20 minutes. Where exactly do you want this? Because, I mean, let's be honest, we're going to have to burn this fucker.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, Clancy. So here's my idea. So we get some of them jerry cans, we put them up underneath the crawl space. And then I've tried this out before and it worked pretty well. So you get some wire and it pulls out, some like Cat9 wire, copper wire, 2-prong, stuff you go in houses. And, you have it like this. He goes, we have it connected to car battery off-site. And then all we got to do is connect the negative to negative terminal, spark, ignites the fumes, house goes up. So we just got to put a few of those cans underneath the house, and then just wait for the go. So someone's got to do it. Someone's gonna be ready to connect those terminals, but we'll be in place. Just have to have some wires running from the house.
Well, that's a good plan. Here's the thing, though. That sounds like it's going to freaking turn this place into a mushroom cloud.
I mean, unless I'm not really getting what we're doing here. We're trying to, blow this motherfucker off the face of the planet, right? I mean, we're trying to just milk this guy. I mean, just leave nothing left.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, obviously, I mean, I think it'll probably do the job. But I mean, someone's got to be in there to lure him in, right?
And that'll be me.
It's a bit of that's a hell of a risk you're taking. Like, what exactly is the plan? Are you just going to go tell him, hey, I gotta go take a leak, ignore the gas smell?
Well, I'm thinking if we got the gas cans up under the crawl space, you shouldn't be able to smell them. These old houses always have a funk to them, and who knows who was here. So the gas smell, if there is any, which I think there won't be, it'll be fine. But I was honestly kind of just gonna go off seat of my pants and just try to find a way to get out.
It's like, well, that's incredibly risky and fucking stupid. I like you a lot.
Clancy, I'm not a smart man, but I'm a determined one.
Which point, Frank, he comes up and he's just like, I kind of overheard a little bit of that. He wasn't joking though. This place is going to go up really fast. So he's like, maybe he's like, I'm not necessarily saying you need a plan like right this moment, son, but you probably should think of a clear plan of escape.
Well, my thing, Dad, is I'm trying to figure out how to trap him here. That's what I'm held up on. If I can trap him here, then I'll buy me enough time to run out, maybe close him in behind me, and then light the place on fire. So I'm trying to figure a way to close him in and pin him down here. It doesn't have to be long; it just has to be for a few minutes, and then we got him. So I got to figure out a way to keep him here. That's the thing.
He's like, well, if nothing else, I mean, what if we got the werewolves on our side. What if we just found a way to hold them in there? I mean, not necessarily, everybody holds them down there and, one person takes the team, goes out for the team. But I mean, there's got to be some kind of way to contain this guy. I mean, these werewolf guys, they got magic or something, right? We've seen them like sniff things and cross over into weird other dimensions.
Well, Clancy, is that something you can do? Can you pin him from the other side or something like that, or phase out just in time?
He kind of furrows his brow, kind of pinches his chin. He starts thinking. He goes, honestly, the tricky thing with us is we can gain extra strength if we need it. The problem with it is it tends to have a negative effect on people.
Humans, you mean?
Yeah. It's really rare to find an individual that when we go into full beast mode, pretty much, that either they're not, very few people can actually look at it and not either just be racked with fear or go crazy.
Wow, so we can't even look at you.
He says, like, for instance, and he calls Park over. He goes, Park, come over here. And Park motions over there, and he goes, what's up, Clancy? And he's like, go almost, Garu. And he goes, he kind of looks at Clancy, and he's like, really? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And he just kind of, you see him just kind of like step aside, just kind of take a deep breath. And over like the course of like maybe like 10 seconds, like, Park's a pretty big guy. He's about 6'3", pretty tall for a half Korean guy. He easily grows visibly another 2 inches. And like, he's already pretty fit. Like his muscles get even bigger.
At this point, Peter's poking his head in.
Yes, please, around the corner.
Yeah, and like, but the thing is, like, this is not a pleasant feeling process for him. You can kind of tell that. His body hair gets thicker. His teeth get more pronounced. But like, eventually he's just like, you can just see him just kind of gritting. He's just like, that really fucking hurts.
God damn, boy.
Now that being said, I'm going to need you to make a roll, maybe. Let me check something real quick. Hold on a moment. I thought I had this pulled up. It turns out I didn't.
I was also thinking about a way to trap him. I was like, I wonder if we could get a propane tank, cut the bottom off it, and then a werewolf could literally just boink.
Pounce on that
propane. I tell you what.
Right. Yeah.
Propane. Or like spikes, maybe some little spiky sticks or something to trap the rats on underneath.
Below the. Oh my God, we're missing the obvious. We had to put on the floor glue traps everywhere, and so when he becomes a rat, all the rats get stuck on the glue floor, and then we
that's
burn
not
the
a
place
terrible
down.
idea, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it could work.
Hold on a second, page 101. See, this is the advantage of having all these fucking books. I can always pull them up.
Just get some we get a case of Gorilla Glue from the store.
Yeah.
Put it down, make sure it's sort of tacky, but not all the way, right?
And then you had to corral the rats. You had to make sure they run all in the same way, and then they just get stuck on the glue. Obviously, you'd glue the kitchen floor, and then you'd use the oven to ignite the fumes, and then, bada bing, bada boom.
Easy peasy.
Stonewall saved.
Take it. Okay, I'm going to need you. So who all saw that? Real talk. I'm going to say.
I think Peter was too busy with his emotional journey.
I was actually going to try to get in there and talk to Jeb about the whole floor.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Jeb and Beryl. Yeah, you two saw it.
Okay.
Make an integrity check.
Okay.
We will say, let's see, +3 because this is in relation to the hunt.
Okay.
-1 because of things on my end that I know about. So your integrity, your integrity plus, -2.
Composure?
Yeah, hold on a second. You also get bonuses depending on how high your integrity is. What's that shit?
So +2 because our touchstone exists in the world. Is that right?
That's true too. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys, okay. So it's going to be +2, then +2 because of how high your integrity should be. It should be at 6, right?
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So -2 because of the things I know on my end. Yeah. Your integrity roll +2.
Okay. Perfect.
That includes having touchdown or no?
Yeah, that includes
Okay, all right. All right. I have 1 success.
Oh God, I had 9. I had no successes.
Okay. Okay. Fun times. Hold on a second.
No. I'm glad I added that extra integrity at the beginning.
Yeah, honestly, this isn't just me trying to shit on you, buddy.
Oh boy.
I wasn't necessarily I'm just playing this by.
Just fucking with you.
Hold on a second. Let's see.
Disadvantages. Oh boy.
Yeah, we won't have that one. Okay, so. Yeah, you do. Unfortunately, you do lose. I hate doing this, dude. I really do. That thing you gained, you did lose it. You also gain a condition that is not in the regular books. I had to pull it up from the werewolf PDF.
Oh wow.
Delusion. Your character cannot make sense of the world he perceives, and because of this, you avoid that which would make you question. When facing the supernatural or something you suspect to be the source of this condition, you flee. If you cannot flee, you shut down. Every action you take that is not fleeing requires a willpower point.
We're literally going to fight the supernatural.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's pretty much what happened. Like, this is a primal fear of your character. Like, you don't know what it is, but this is you just witnessed something ancient. And
all right.
Yeah, and you know that if you stay around this thing, it will kill you and eat you. Okay.
So go ahead. If you saw more.
Yeah. Resolution. Your character reaffirms your sense of reality by expending willpower and learning something new, something deeply secret about the source of the condition. So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're kind of in a panic right now. I can say you can spend a willpower point to stay in the scene instead of just freaking fleeing.
Okay.
But like, yeah, this is terrifying you right now. It's everything you can to not fucking bolt.
So if you want
Beryl.
some flavor text, Jeb feels the fear and the intrinsic dread, and he remembers a memory that was shut away for so long that he forgot he even had when he went camping with Frank one time, but Frank lost him, and it was in the middle of the night when Jeb went to go take a leak and got turned around, and that night he was by himself crying, and he saw something in the darkness and it was moving, and he never knew what it was, but now he realizes it was a feral werewolf. He never knew until just now that it was
Honestly, yeah, you could absolutely
alpha
do that.
werewolf, and it was a memory that was shut away up until this very moment that's now just been unboxed.
Yeah, and like, yeah, at which point, like, and even you, Beryl, like, you know, you don't necessarily take anything bad, but I mean, it's like this. Even like scarier than even the spider shit you've seen, the freaking rat person. Like, there's something on this level that, you know, this is a predator that absolutely will fucking kill and eat you. Like, you are a prey animal to this thing. I mean, like I said, you don't wig the fuck out like Jeb does, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like, you know, from what you've gathered, I mean, you know, Park seems like a good guy, but, you know, this is something on an instinctual level.
Probably really having to super fight the sort of cowardly instinct just to fucking run away. Just really working here to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where, I mean, Clancy can see what's going on with you specifically, Jeb, and, like, you know, he's grabbing you on the shoulders and just looking straight. He's like, Jeb, look at me, buddy.
Jeb's crying. Honestly, he's just crying. He feels like a lost child again.
Yeah, he says, he's like, listen, buddy. There's a reason we hide. There's a reason we don't do even that much. People don't react well to it. There's some werewolves that are, you know, they're not cool. They're not cool. They most of us try to skirt the line and at least, you know, be affable with people and not do the bad things. We're not that kind. But if it gets bad, this is just our way of showing you, if it gets bad, we can help you, but you need to get the fuck out, unless you don't want to deal with some really serious issues.
Jib just nods. It doesn't say anything, and he walks outside and puts a like, not to be a big fat dip in. He's just standing on the porch. He left.
You're sitting there, like, you're visibly shaken. Peter, you notice this. You're coming back from the woods after your your encounter with your discovery. You see Jeb. He's seen something.
Jeb, are you all right?
Peter, there's just something. I've just seen something. I can't unseen. I'll be okay, but I can't be around them anymore. I need to be out here. I just can't.
All right, Jeb, I'm going to hug you. Just let me do this. Let me do this.
And Jeb is kind of, and then he kind of like, okay. It's really just kind of soft, and he hugs him back, and he starts crying again.
Okay, let it out. Let it all out.
Now,
thanks, Peter.
Now, stepping away from the role playing and stuff, do write this down, Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to listen to this later, I mean, that's another reason why I'm saying it. Again, your resolution, and you do get a beat for this. Your character reaffirms their sense of their sense of reality by expending willpower and learning something new, something deeply secret about the source of the condition. So if you want to spend another willpower point, I mean, this is already taxing your stuff, but if you want to spend another willpower point, you can basically dig in deep and, you know, maybe learn something on a personal level about these guys.
Yeah. Role-playing wise, I think Jeb would be the type of dude that he's just trying to get through it, because his composure is pretty good. and he's a straight shooter. And then also just from a game playing side, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I don't just flee from them. So Jeb's gonna keep hugging Peter, maybe a little bit longer than Peter's even comfortable with, and go.
Peter's fine. He realizes you need the hug.
Okay, perfect. And he's gonna go. You know what? And he gets up and he like walks back in there with purpose. And he goes to Park and he goes. You're gonna tell me everything I need to know right now.
Yeah, Twitch, by the way, at this point, Park is like, he's gone back. Like, you can tell, like, you know, It looks like it's kind of exhausted him and stuff, but he's a little startled when you come out.
So what the fuck was that? He goes, I've seen that before. It was not a good thing. What the fuck was that?
He goes, okay, all right, Jeb, calm down, buddy. Calm down. There's a reason we showed you that. There's a reason we haven't been doing that. Clancy was shooting straight with you. We're not human, dude. That's really the only thing I can really say. We're predators at the end of the day. We don't do the bad stuff. I wish I knew a better way to say it. We're not going to eat you.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing uncomfortably, and then I'm like, I can't deal with this right now.
Park can eat me anytime.
No,
he's just like, you're just gonna have to trust me. Yeah, you're just gonna have to trust me on that. There are people. Do some of
y'all eat people?
He's like, some of us do. Some of us go a little too far into certain directions of what we are. Some people have to eat us in order to have to eat other people in order to survive. We're not that. We keep that in check. We go into great lengths to keep that in check.
Park, tell me something. Why are you a werewolf? Clancy, why are you? Destiny, why are y'all just calmer now? He goes, why are any of y'all werewolves? How does this happen? Why does it happen? I mean, I gotta...
To which Clancy, he just kind of laughs. He's like, why are you a white country boy in Podunk nowhere? You're just born that way, man.
Is it just like that? Just that simple?
Yeah. He's like, we can't really help it. We were born that way. At some point, we changed. And we found, others around the area like us. And we're like, he's like, the three of us you see, we're family. He's like, we got like brothers, sisters on the outside, moms, dads. He's like, shit, I used to have a wife. But this is all we have, us three.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But he says, all three of us, we're on your side. We're just making sure that it's as harmonious around here as possible. We've staked out a really weird chunk of territory, and we don't know what's going to happen when Destiny goes to Germany. But she wants to spread her wings, and it's not our place to say she can't.
Well, tell me this. Well, I really had one question. Now I got two. First one, most importantly, have y'all ever eaten anybody?
You see some visible discomfort on Park's face. He's like,
that's what I thought.
He's like, I've never eaten a person. Yeah, that's really all I'm comfortable saying on that. We've had to put others like us down. And okay, so what you saw of me earlier, that's low dosage. We can go more intense. And not only will that hit you harder, we can lose control if we're not careful. He's think the Incredible Hulk, big and strong, but all he is angry, and he'll tear apart everything that's in front of him until it wears down, until he calms down. He's like, that's the best way I can put it. If we get like that, you don't want to be in town.
So y'all's emotions to have anything to do with that? Or...
It can.
Peter, while outside, is like, "Oh shit, I have to use the bathroom." That's my way of saying I'm going.
Yeah. And Jeb looks at Clancy. He goes, "You're telling me you've never tasted human flesh before?"
He says, "I've killed men, but I've never eaten anybody."
Okay.
And Destiny goes, and if you're curious about me, she says, I've been a werewolf for like or rather known I was a werewolf for like 2 years now. So it's all still new to me.
A little baby wolf.
Which is to say no, you haven't.
All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, I just woke up something inside me that I just didn't even know was there, and that just got to me more than anything has ever gotten to me. So I'm real sorry I had to grill y'all like that. I just had to get off my chest. I just don't think I could have operated at full capacity if I didn't.
He goes, no. I mean, Clancy goes, I mean, shit. We told you we told you that we were werewolves, and it's just like, I mean, for all you knew, we were kind of crazy. I mean, even despite all this, it's good to know that you know that we're not lying.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, it's
yeah, just if you can, try to avoid seeing us change our shape. If you see, he's like, weird enough, if you see a wolf running around, even though they're not native around here, I mean, it's not really going to do anything. But if you see a really big fucking wolf, maybe don't, maybe look away.
No, yeah, I know that. That's I think that's what I saw as a child, and noted. I'm sorry. I think I got that out of the system, y'all. I think I'm ready to move forward with our
It
plan.
was real fucked up for sure.
Yeah, that just I'm just not used to getting caught off guard like that. So yeah. Anyways, all right.
Hey, maybe we can make a trap. Let's distraction.
Yeah,
There's stuff we can do here, maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah, Jeb's like, I just need to wrap a few things. I'll get my mind off it. That'll set me straight.
At which point, Clancy, he goes over to the igloo he's got because he has not bought a fucking Yeti. He's not like that.
No.
And he cracks it open and he tosses you a Miller and he goes, "How about we all take a break?"
Yeah, Clancy, you're a good man. I like you.
Okay, so the rest of the day pretty much goes without incident. It's pretty much as you described with the plan. Clear chambers, getting where you need to, gas underneath it. You're pretty much ready. The only thing left is contacting Rat to make the phone call. And do we want
to do anything to the kitchen or that dining room floor to try to weaken it in some way, or put something underneath it, or otherwise try to rig it in some way, or do we just want to just be cognizant of it, and then
Clancy goes, Clancy goes, considering we got an ally with Hazel, if she, he's like, we'll get in touch with her later tonight. If she can strengthen the gauntlet there, enough to where Geek can't cross over if he needs to. He's like, I could basically wait in the shadow until I get the word that you guys are there, and I could just hide out underneath in case things go bad. Okay. He's like, believe me when I say an explosion is probably not going to kill me if things go really bad. But okay. I could basically hang underneath there just in case, and pop up, surprise, motherfucker.
Hard eyes, motherfucker.
Yeah, sounds good. Grab his ankles and keep him in place or something. Yeah, why not?
All right, we'll call that an evening at that, and the next session is probably going to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.